Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you how you can make melodic beats for Central Cee's new album, All Roads Lead Home. So let's just get straight into it. So for this beat, I've taken inspiration from the song Wagwan. Crazy beat, crazy song as well. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from that. So for this beat, we're in 140 BPM and we are in F minor. And the first instrument I went with was this electric piano from Zonology called Stage EP, and this is the progression I went with. So it's a simple chord progression. I'm just using a couple of different notes from the scale to build chords off of, and the easiest way for me to explain this is going to be, in each scale, as you see I've done here, you've got 8 notes. So basically this chord progression is just C sharp, C, F, and then C sharp, A sharp, C. So basically to get to C sharp, it's going to be the F is going to be the first note in the scale, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So that's the 6th note in the scale. Then we're going down to the 5th, and then the F, meaning this is a 6, 5, 1 chord progression, and in the second half it's going to be 6, 3, 6, 3, 4 chord progression. And that's the best way to, well, I say best, it's a good way of getting some chords down. You just place the bass notes first that you want, and you can build chords off of those bass notes. And as you can see also, I've played around with velocity and also the timing of the notes, so they're not all playing at the exact same time. It just gives it more of a human feel rather than so robotic. I've then layered that first electric piano with this second electric piano called the Vintage Phase EP, and I've just copied and pasted the exact same MIDI, but I've just put it up an octave just to give it a bit more high end for the sound. And at this point I went and added some lower notes just to occupy the bass frequencies for the melody, because we've got the mids and the highs from the electric pianos, and I just wanted to add, without adding an 808, I added this vintage organ too, just playing some really low notes just to give that bass sound to the melody. This is what it sounds like. So you might not hear that if you've got no headphones on, because it's very low. You can barely hear it unless you've got headphones, but I just thought it added a lot of warmth and depth to the melody. I then added some pluck sounds to go into the hooks. This first one I got from Sky Keys called First Toy, and this is the melody I came up with. And then again, I layered it. I copied the exact same MIDI into another preset from Sky Keys called Even Bubble, just to give a bigger sound to the counter melody and a more interesting sound. And this is what the second one sounds like. And what I did with those plucks as well is I sent them into the mixer channel and I panned them left and right because they're both playing the exact same thing. The second pluck's a higher octave. I just wanted them to not clash with each other, so I've panned them left and right 20%. And the last thing I did for the melody was add some vocals. I found these vocals from Blanco's This Is Cheating kit, and the vocals just sound crazy. So I'm going to play the full vocal, and then I'm going to show you what I did. I just chopped it up, just like I didn't want it playing all the way through, but this is what the vocal sounds like. Yeah, that vocal sounds absolutely crazy, and that's just one of the samples you can get from Blanco's This Is Cheating kit. I'm going to go into it now. So you've got This Is Cheating, loop builders, a melody making course, placement opportunities, so much within this kit. You've got midis, and then you've got dark trap, melodic trap, R&B, Afro, and then French rap stuff. club, whatever. And then within each, you've got different sounds, and each is labeled in the key and the BPM. There's over 1,000 sounds in this kit, and that vocal just sounds crazy, and that's just one of them. So if you're interested in being able to make melodies and loops like this, then I'll leave an affiliate link in the description for this kit. Definitely would appreciate it, and it's a steal. So onto the drums now. I just first started with a rim, just playing on every third beat. Then I've got this live counter snare that I've got playing as like a Nems Nathan kind of bounce. That's what it sounds like. I then added this simple counter snare pattern, again playing a lot with velocity here. I then added a hi-hat just to play some filler notes and some rolls, because I didn't want to add it with a counter snare, just wanted that lighter sound of the hi-hat. Again, playing with velocity and also with pitch. When you add drums in, it auto corrects it to C, the note C, but you don't need to play the C. If you pitch it up and down, it gives it interesting sounds. So there's no rules, man. Just go for it, and just whatever sounds good, sounds good. I then added a very simple 808 bouncy pattern. It's literally just following the root notes of the chords. Kept it very simple to keep it as open as possible for an artist. If they were to jump on this, you don't want them fighting, especially the 808. But this is what it sounds like. However, to keep it interesting in the hooks, I have added a log drum bouncing off of the first 808 just to give it a bit more bounce and a bit of variation for the hooks. And then lastly, I added this kick pattern, very simple. It's not a crazy loud kick either, because it's quite a chill beat in a way. So just a simple kick pattern, nothing crazy. This is what it sounds like. And that's the main drum pattern. I've got 2 others, but they're just variations of just adding some cushion in or taking it away, just to give a bit of variation. So it's pretty much identical. You just want to play around and figure out what sounds good for the beat, but this is what the drums sound like together. And then after that, the beat is pretty much done. I just arranged it out, and I just added some drum fills and risers to go in between the different sections. All I've done is I've just got an 8-bar intro, going straight into an 8-bar hook, and then into a 16-bar verse, going back into the hook. So it's just the same, repeating over, just bringing stuff in, bringing it out, instruments and the plucks just to keep it interesting, but there's loads of space on this beat to go crazy, so take a listen from the start and see what you think. So we've got the 2 pianos going and that organ bass. Got a little drum fill and riser to get into it.
Yo, I'm on Miami Beach with a sweet 110. She wanna learn, so I teach some slang. Like, what's going on, babe? How you doing? I'm from London, so I speak with a twang. It's Taxman K and the
sounds crazy.
Too. I don't watch the mutes, I don't beef with the gang, but the set people I wanna see get blammed. If you fuck
go into the verse.
So sweet since school that I tea from Poundland, bro. Fly them and the pound still land. Big Naira.
You see how simple it is, but it just works.
I want pounded yam. Kinda surprised by the venue size. I perform for 25,000 fans. Keep the clout, I'm out for the bands. Keep counting the days, baby. I'll be back. What gone? I ain't seen Shorty in a minute. She asked how I am, I said calm.
It's just
She
crazy,
said
man.
I'm the man, I said in it. Posted up with my dog at yard. If you got a friend for my friend,
Honestly, sometimes you just gotta
when
keep
I was
it so
broke, I
simple.
called it December, but now I'm up, my step got a spring in. Baby, turn it around and spin it. I'm trying to bend your back and then dig it. I ain't unknown in a team.
A little break in the drums as well.
Outside of the club, tell bro, but you jump out quick and feel it. Say you're a good girl, said that you're timid. I think she a freak and don't wanna admit it. I think she a freak and don't wanna admit it. Now it's private room, we don't go shop floor. I was pouring out champagne.
So yeah, if you learned something new, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you next week.
I get gal, I don't rape no women. Free all they get back, sat in a jail. They ain't learning a skill, but they're barber trimming. Trust no when I seen past the sinning. You honestly think if I go put 100k on the table, my dog won't kill him. DXB, I'm with Pats, I rap, he traps, but he got the same car, I whip him.